So today I'm coming to you from our local play park, which was renovated sort of in January. They closed it for January and they said they were doing some work on it. So today we have ventured out to see what they've done, and yeah, I've brought 3 of my children here with me. Needless to say, we are the only people here. You know, it's lunchtime on a Wednesday, so I'm just trying to figure out how to flip my camera so I can show you the play park, but I can't figure it out. So anyway, never mind, maybe I'll figure it out in a minute. So I wondered if today we could do like a little piece on giving people advice to new unschoolers. So what would be one piece of advice that you would give to those who are new, particularly to unschooling? Inevitably, you will find that the video might start and stop a bit because I am required to push people on roundabouts and swings and help on the monkey bars and such the like. But hopefully I won't lose my trail of thought too much. So the one piece of advice that you would give to new unschoolers, the first thing, or one of the first things, it's a bit hard to narrow it down to one really, but one of the first things that I say to people new, even just to home educating, is really just to take a step back and to slow down. So to slow down and take a step back, I think most of us probably come from conventional lives maybe, so we've left a place of work, or even just out of school and college and university, you know, sort of lifestyles where everything is scheduled, so everything is timed by a clock, we have to be at a certain place at a certain time, and our life is divided into this is when I work, this is when I rest, this is when I have time for my hobbies, and when we have children, they don't actually naturally fit into those schedules. If you think about babies, for instance, they don't eat, say, 3 times a day in a traditional manner. They need feeding a lot more frequently than that, and we can try and force them to feed 3 times a day, but they will show their displeasure at this. So I was trying to think of some ways that we could really slow down, or just some examples, and I was thinking of how we can go with the flow of our children. So maybe when we go out, we stop and watch the things that have caught their attention, like the little snail climbing up the wall, or for example on the way to the park today we stopped and watched the ants crawling across the pavement, and then we stopped at the house on the corner of our road, which has had some building work going on for quite a long time now, and sort of did a little look what's happened next, which was initiated by my youngest. I think they put some new fencing up. You know, it can be as simple as just allowing them to jump in the puddles, or even watching Peppa Pig for the umpteenth time, which obviously I'm speaking from personal experience there, but that's what our children are finding engaging, and it's sort of our role to support that and to find out maybe what it is that they like about that. So really just being with your children, joining in their play, answering their questions as they go. You know, I've had to stop recording here this afternoon as my eldest has sat with me and has been showing me you know, cute cat videos that he's found on the internet that he finds really exciting and cute and enjoyable. You know, just trying to see the world through their eyes, see what they're seeing and what they find interesting in it, and sort of not making reference to maybe time particularly, or you know, the next thing that we've got to be doing, or the next thing we think they should be doing in terms of a schedule. Just allowing ourselves time to be with our children, which of course also means being a bit flexible and willing to change our plans where we can. You know, so for example today, maybe staying at the play area a bit longer than maybe I would like to, or I thought we would, or even staying at home longer if our children are absorbed in some sort of play. So for example today we sort of had this idea we'd come to the play park. My 8-year-old daughter suggested it. We sort of talked about it, I guess, about 10 o'clock this morning, and I thought in my mind it'd be nice to invite my older two as well. They were still asleep, so we decided to wait till they woke up, which we did. Then they had something to eat. We were all ready to go, except then someone else had got absorbed in playing a game on their tablet, so we were watching them play that. Then we had something else to eat. Anyway, the idea really is that, you know, it was probably gone 1 o'clock before we actually came out to the park, because we were just going with the flow of the morning and what the children were doing and where they were at. And of course that depends on having a flexible schedule, which today we really are very flexible. We don't have any classes to attend today or other places we need to be, or any other considerations, so it was a lot easier to facilitate that. And of course the advantages of all of this are that you get to know your children really well. You get to find out what things interest them and how they look at the world. You get to join them in those interests, show that you support them, you're building healthy relationships with them. You get to find out what sort of environments and situations engage them as a learner, as a child, and how they relate and interpret the world around them. It's not easy. Probably one of the reasons why I picked it, or one of the reasons why it's always sort of the thing that I like to tell people to do, is it's probably one of the things that I found the hardest and wrestled with the most. I'm a kind of a list person. I like knowing where I'm going and what I'm doing and what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. And it's taken a long time for me to realise that life is flexible. I know it sounds silly, but just simple things like if you miss that train or that bus that you were planning on getting, there's another one. There should be another one coming, and if there isn't, you can, you know, probably get a taxi or ring a friend, or, you know, find somewhere to stay. And actually there are other options, which is probably a really hard lesson for me to learn. You know, it was quite an overwhelming thing for me as an adult to slow down and to not have everything in my life scheduled. The idea that I didn't have to eat at 5 or 6 o'clock, or have dinner then, and eat earlier, or that's a little bit about me, I guess, really. Jumping off that treadmill of life, where everything is planned, and for me a lot of things were planned, just because of the nature of my job as a teacher. Everything is planned when you're a teacher. Every hour of your day, every lesson has got a plan, every minute has got a plan, and then in between classes you're trying to catch up with the next thing, so you've got a list of what to do to prepare for the next thing. And I think that for me that was quite tricky, but if we're going to support our children in their natural learning, and seek to sort of strengthen our relationships with them, and to know them really well, then allowing them to learn at their own pace is essential. So there's lots of advice we could give to new unschoolers, and that's fine. So let's open up the question, and you can pop something in the comments about what advice you would give to people beginning their unschooling journey. I still haven't worked out how to flip the camera around, and funnily enough, if I did right now, you would only see play equipment, because my children are actually hiding like in one of the den areas, so it looks like I'm sat in an empty play park talking to myself. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully do another one again soon. Bye.